Hey everyone, my name is Carson, and I am so glad that you are watching on our YouTube page. Each week we will have a segment where our messages from the week prior will come up, and we hope you enjoy every message that you see. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe on this message.
Guys, how are you today?
Good.
I think someone said good before I even said how are you. That's how I'm trying